Hi Leo, welcome to your month ahead Horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality for February 2020. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you haven't got your seat for Tribal Tuesday or Mindset Magic, you can do so on the link in the description box below. And on the 1st of February, I am offering an align with your purpose. If you want to discover your purpose and you want to align with your purpose and activate that purpose, you can do so on the link in the description box below. It's £11. There are limited seats. If you want to be there, please click on that. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see my ascendant brothers and sisters, what is in store for us for February 2020. So this month we get... All right, so in your actions and interactions with the world at large, you've got the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups, yes, is about sometimes snapping yourself out of a funk. But very often this card is about the things that are just around the corner that you cannot see yet. The fact that you've got this in your actions and interactions with the world at large, it feels for me like this month you're saying, you know what, very much like if you were to see the Wheel of Fortune here, you don't rely on luck, you're going to create your own luck. But because it is the Four of Cups, this is about you saying to yourself, I know there is more out there in the world for me. I know that there are greater things for me to do, bigger possibilities, broader prospects. And this is about you saying, you know what, I'm tired of playing small. This month of February, Leo, you're going to really start to accelerate out of yourself. You're going to really start to put your foot on the pedal, so to speak. This is where you really are stepping out of that, you know what, maybe it's just me energy. And this is where you're saying, you know what, it doesn't matter. What matters is that I push on. What matters is that I break out of my shell. And this month you're really doing that in a big, powerful way. I don't know why, I just feel like there's something on the internal level this month of February is really shifting for us. And this energy is coming from within to say, you know what, whatever opportunities are on their way to me, I'm going to meet them more than halfway. I'm going to do like 60-70% of the work so that when they come, I'm there able to utilize that much more of whatever it is that's being offered to me, which is a really gorgeous energy. That's the feeling that I get from this, because like I said, your actions is what you do, and your Four of Cups is about what's on its way to you that you can't see yet. So it's kind of like you're saying, you know what, I'm going to meet you more than in the middle. I'm going to go over the halfway mark so that it comes to me quicker, closer, and ultimately it's bigger and better and juicier for me to reap the rewards of, so to speak. I really like this energy for us, actually. It does suggest that the whole month of February is going to be a very high energy time for us, even though we've got that Mercury retrograde starting, I think it's on the 9th of February, right? So a really interesting card. For our money and materials, we've got the Judgment card, right? And this is actually a great card. Judgment card always precedes massive changes, but it asks you to close things off that are kind of open or left unfinished. This is very much a month of fix it or forget it. You could be very, very, very focused, very directed when it comes to money, when it comes to finances this month. It's almost like you're saying to yourself, you know what? Wherever it is that I've been kind of not necessarily wasting money, but wherever it is that I'm kind of done with something, this is the month where you put that out to the universe. It's where you kind of make that action plan. So for some of you, this could be about settling debts. For some of you, this could be about wiping debts off completely. The fact that you've got the Four of Cups right next to this as well. The feeling that I get from this is whatever debts or monies or anything that you've got outstanding or owed, this month you're really putting in place a plan so you can say to yourself, right, by this date that's going to be finished because I'm ready for the next level. The fact that you have the Judgment card as well, this really does feel for me like a lot of you will be settling old scores. So if this is about people owing you money, Four of Cups there as well, it could be something that's owed to you or has been owed to you for a long time. The fact that you have the Judgment card here means that that could be uncovered. It might be where you've overpaid on something and didn't realize that you had. It could be something coming back to you that you'd already put out and thought, you know what, I'll cut my losses and be done with it. Whereas this month, it actually makes its way back to you. The Judgment card for finances is never a bad thing. It just means that things are about to change in that sector. And given the way that the last 2 years have been for Leos in this sector, because I've had loads of people email me and say like, you know, you said it was going to get better. This could be the month where you really start to see that. This could be the month where things really start to click into place and make sense for you. The fact that you have the Judgment card, though, means that you are going to have to look at this stuff in the cold, harsh light of day, right? You can't, and it's interesting because especially if you're an ascendant Leo, Mercury retrograde in Pisces is in your 8th house. So this could really, for some of you, this could bring back old work. For some of you, it could bring back old sources of revenue. The fact that it's there with the 4 of Cups as well, this could really bring in that energy of, you know what, let me apply the way that I used to do something to something new that I'm doing now, and it could really pay off for you. The fact that you do have Mercury retrograde there, though, this is not a month for grand sweeping big things when it comes to purchases, especially anything that you're going to be in for a long time. The energy just isn't there for it. So if you can, wait till March, and you know, quite late into March, when Mercury goes direct and passes its shadow, which will be, I think, the 29th of March in total. For your home and environment, interestingly enough, I don't know why, but I'm seeing a leak. So I just want to say that to you, any of you that have a leak. And interestingly enough, I think it's in Chinese feng shui or astrology, they say that if you've got a water leak in the home, it's very much akin to the energy of bleeding money somewhere. So if you've got a leak in the home, this is the month for you to really get that addressed, because it will have a great effect or a positive effect on your money and material sector. So your communications with the world at large, you are all about the work, right? Work. Right, the fact that you've got the 8 of Pentacles here means that you are talking about work, you're focused on work. For some of you, this might be about welcoming new work, or, you know, connecting with an old job, or connecting with an old source of revenue coming through. The fact that this is the 8 of Pentacles as well, this is about you really, especially with these cards here. It's about you demonstrating that you're the best person for the job. It's about you kind of, I don't know why, but I just want to say this month you've got to be ready and willing to blow your own trumpet. This month you've got to really think about what are the skills that you bring to the table, and by verbalizing them and talking about them, it's really going to help you. This is a month where you need to learn how to sell yourself, Leo, and that's not necessarily, you know, like sell yourself. We ain't out here selling booty. Right, we're talking about our skills. The 8 of Pentacles as well is also asking you to network your tushy off. This is a month for you to really, and you know, it's going to be tough because obviously we do have that Mercury retrograde. My advice to you, I've got 2 pieces of advice for you. First, under promise and over deliver. That's going to be really important, not the other way around, right? If you can't do it and you don't have the skill for it, don't pretend that you do. This is not a month, especially when it comes to networking, selling yourself, your skills or your product. Do not jump off the cliff and try to build the ship or the plane on the way down. The energy isn't there for it and you will get caught out. But if there is something that you know how to do, that you're well versed in, well studied and well read in, sell yourself, put yourself out there and show people what the skills that you have are. Over promise, under promise and over deliver. Yeah, like I said, just keep it all above board this month. That's going to be really important. For the heart and half sector, we've got the Death card, right? So this, for me, if I'm completely honest with you, I feel like this is familial. I feel like there is either a tie with a family member. There may be, you know, for those of us that have elderly and stuff, and I touch wood as I say this because that includes me as well. It could very well be where we're kind of saying goodbye to a loved one. But for the most part, I feel like this is about a connection. This is about some form of connection that you've just decided to, you know, is no longer serving. It's actually holding you back, or it's working at cross purposes to what you want to build and welcome into your life. And this month you're just not ready to accept it. So it's kind of like, you know what, if I have to, I'll cut it off completely so that I can get to where I want to be. If at a later date things are better, we can reconnect or rekindle. In relation to your work as well, this is kind of saying, you know what, I'm not going to put my stuff on hold for family anymore. Good for you, Leo. Really good for you. For those of you that are single, this could be a hot, heady and steamy month for sure, but it could all just be fantasy, you know, so there's definitely a possibility for a lot of that. Not necessarily much in the way of grounding. For those of us that are partnered, again, this could be, you know, something to do with a loved one, something to do with a partner where almost like maybe your ideas of what you want are very different, and you might need to find a way to reconcile that this month. But yeah, your death card and the fact that you've got the judgment card here as well, it does look like we're delving into some of the bigger or deeper topics this month. So your weeks of the month, let's have a look, see what we've got. In the first week of the month, we have the Star card, right? This is great. This is what tells me, I mean, doubly, right? Whatever it is that is kind of on its way to you, this month you're getting really proactive about making it happen for yourself. It's kind of like you're reaching out, you're networking. You're saying, you know what, that's a really good opportunity, but it's not just identifying opportunities, you're seizing them. And it's kind of like this month, I feel like you're going to be planting lots of little seeds here, there and everywhere. And it's kind of like you're saying to yourself, I know this isn't going to give me anything now, but I understand what its long-term projections may possibly be. This is about you also reaching out to or finding a tribe of some sort, especially with the Four of Cups there. You could be finding a bit of a kindred spirit or soul this month, so that's really nice. Second week of the month, we've got the Judgment card right underneath the Judgment card. There's definitely something in terms of your finances, there's something coming back in. Now, it is the 8th house, so this could talk about taxes, it could talk about debts, but for a lot of us, I feel like this is the energy of releasing ourselves from something that we're tied to, which, you know, could very well be a debt, it could be something of that nature. For a lot of us, this is also welcoming in, right? Because it's right next to the Star card. This is about welcoming in either an old employer. It could be that you're walking down memory lane in some way, shape or form. Something to do with our finances is coming back into the fold, but it's going to be a beneficial energy. I feel like this is going to be something that really helps us. At first, you might think to yourself, oh wow, you know, I really need time to consider this, and is it the right move? Is it all of that? But it looks like for a lot of us, we're taking a step backward that actually ends up taking us forward in the long run. All right, so for the third week of the month, we've got the Tower card right next to the Judgment card and right underneath the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, when it comes to the work, really busy on that stuff. You know, the thing with the Tower card as well, because it's Uranus ruled, and the fact that we've got the Star card in, you know, in close proximity here as well, there could be really a lot going on online for you. The fact that it comes with the Judgment card, this is not a month for you to engage with trolls. It's not a month for you to engage with, you know, anybody online that is spouting crap and all the rest of it. Just don't get involved. It's going to be a waste of energy. On a more beneficial energy with the Tower card and the 8 of Pentacles, for a lot of you, you could be thinking about digitizing your business. You could be thinking about broadening your horizons or expanding your reach in some way, shape or form. Lots of internet-based communication. But just remember that Mercury is retrograde, so you just want to be careful, especially around payments. The fact that you've got the Tower card here as well, right next to the Judgment card, if you can, if you deal with online payments and stuff, just be very, very careful about protecting that information this month. Mercury is retrograde in Taurus, Mercury is retrograde in Pisces, which is your 8th house. So anything where you're dealing with other people's money, just make sure it's very well protected, especially if it is online this month. And then for the fourth week of the month, we've got the Death card. Look at that. I got to call it, Leo, as I see it. I feel like if you haven't heard about it yet, you may very well hear of an ending or a passing this week. Double hit of the Judgment card, double hit of the Death card. This is, I could go on for hours about this, but what I will say is it does look like something is coming to an end. The fact that the Death card is right next to the Tower card and there's a double hit of it, it could be very sudden. It could be that there's kind of no warning and then all of a sudden somebody contacts you and says, look, you know, so-and-so has passed, or it could just be really, really quick. Because it's right next to the Tower. This 4th week of February is going to be a really interesting week for sure. On the wider world stage, we could see something playing out. I definitely get that vibe because the Tower card is there and the 8 of Pentacles. This is just a month to keep that in mind, I guess, is what I want to say to you. So, your key to the month. You got the Star card, right? So lots of double up energy this month. There is hope, there is optimism, there is joy. Whatever you're planting this month, you're planting the seeds of your future. Plant them big, plant them wide, plant them varied, plant them, you know, with that understanding that what you're building now is all about your future. The fact that you have the Star card and you've got it here twice, especially, you know, that first week of the month. This really is about building a group, building a network, you know, whatever your personal society is and how that is about to change. And then finally, your what we have in the next card, because it's a leap year this year. So your message for the 29th of February, let's use this deck, is the Empress, right? So money and finances, believe it or not, actually look like the one sector of all of this that is actually going to be great. It does suggest that there are some big changes on the horizon for you. Interestingly enough, you've got the Star card, which is Aquarius ruled, and then you've got the Empress, which is Venus or Taurus ruled. And these are right next to each other. That's that sort of Uranus in Taurus energy. It really does suggest for me that something in your home and environment could really be shifting in a big way this month. It really suggests that you could be welcoming in new ideas. It also suggests to me as well, your message for the 29th or for the leap year is really think about what does your ideal life look like, and what are you or who networking that we talked about, who is it that's going to help you get there. It feels like you might be reconnecting with a Taurus or a Libra this month, and this person can really help you in a big way. And what I love about it is because it falls right next to that Star card, this is somebody that is either a true friend or a true ally, and somebody that can really help you, and it's a mutually beneficial connection. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.